So, the manager domino effect that started in England has now officially arrived in Serie A. And the things are getting very interesting because, according to the latest reports, Antonio Conte has decided to leave Napoli at the end of this season. And honestly, this is massive news for Italian football. Now, the big question is, why would Conte leave a club where he already won the Serie A? The answer is this simple: the ambition. Conte is one of those managers who wants to compete for everything every single season. Serie A, Champions League, domestic cups, he wants it all. But the problem is the Napoli board, especially Aurelio De Laurentiis, the president. Conte reportedly feels frustrated with the club's transfer policy. He wanted experienced world-class players ready to win now. Instead, Napoli keep bringing young or cheaper players who still need development, and this is where the tension started. Last summer, De Laurentiis promised Conte support in the transfer market after winning Serie A. But according to the reports, Conte wanted players like Garnacho, Rashford, or Sancho for the left wing. Instead, Napoli brought the club Noah Lang. Now, listen, bro. Noah Lang is a decent player, but Conte doesn't want quantity. He wants elite quality level. And it wasn't only the winger situation. Conte also wanted a proven number 9 instead of relying too much on Romelu Lukaku and inexperienced strikers. Instead, they bought a no-name striker that after that left the club for a loan. And they brought Højlund, who is also not in the elite level yet. Also Conte wanted Maguire or that type of player. Honestly, it's strange for me that Conte usually wants United players to his teams. Easier would be to come to United as a head coach instead. Napoli brought in players with potential, but not players ready to dominate immediately. So this was the problem. And now look at this table. Inter are champions again, and Napoli are miles behind. 13 points gap says everything. And honestly, Conte probably realized one thing: nothing is gonna change. Napoli, like a club that wants to stay competitive in top 4 and win a couple of titles in 5-10 years. But not a club that ready to fully dominate in Europe. And for Antonio Conte, that's simply not enough. Because let's be real, this man is obsessed with winning. He wanted more leaders, more experience, more mentality monster inside of the club. Yes, Napoli signed De Bruyne. Yes, they improved the goalkeeper situation, but Conte clearly believes the squad still had massive holes, and after 2 seasons, he has had enough. Now this is where things become very interesting because Juventus has to bring him back. Conte won Serie A 3 times in 3 seasons when he was coaching there. They were dominating in Italy, also having 102 points in a single season. It was the record of the top 5 leagues. And Juventus right now are desperate for stability. Ever since Andrea Agnelli and Beppe Marotta left the club, Juventus have completely lost their identity. Different coaches came, inconsistent football, disappointing league positions. For example, this season they are 6th and in the table and out of the Champions League for the next season most probably. This is not the Juventus fans grew up watching. This club is slowly losing its aura, and bringing back Antonio Conte makes so much sense because Antonio Conte guarantees mentality. He's a serial winner and he deserves to win Champions League that he haven't won yet in his career. This is the thing is that he guarantees intensity, and most importantly, he guarantees that players stop being comfortable. If Juventus back him properly in the transfer market, I reckon that they could genuinely be Serie A title contenders again immediately. This could be honestly the biggest move of the summer for Juventus. Because if Juventus miss this opportunity, they risk falling even further behind. Now, on the Napoli side, the club is already searching for replacements. Maurizio Sarri is currently one of the main candidates. Luciano Spalletti is also being linked with a return. And they are even rumors about Ruben Amorim. And honestly, Amorim would be very interesting. Modern ideas, aggressive football, tactical, the same style. And most importantly, he already works well with back three systems, which would help Napoli transition much more smoothly after Conte, you know. Sarri and Spalletti are quality coaches, no doubt. But Amorim feels the more exciting long-term project. You know, Sarri is in the last years has didn't showed something extraordinary. His results are poor, and bringing him back to Napoli is not good idea in my opinion. And there is more. Lazio are also considering managerial changes, with Miroslav Klose linked to the job. Now that would be interesting. One of the greatest strikers of his generation entering top level coaching. Football heritage right there. Miroslav Klose could be very good coach if he would get a chance. German coaches are very clever tactically, and in my opinion, he could achieve big things with Lazio, as Lazio needs to come back to the European area. But overall, one thing is clear: European football is entering complete managerial chaos right now. Premier League changes, Serie A changes, big clubs panicking, managers moving everywhere. Guardiola, Maresca, Carrick, Xabi Alonso, and turn to others now. Absolute football domino effect. And trust me, we are only getting started. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your opinions in the comments. Football is absolute cinema right now. Bye bye.